All right, everyone, we are back. You're back with Ozma the Alchemist, and today we have a very special guest. We have Sister Karima McKenzie here today. She is a vice principal. She's an author of a wonderful book called Temples Are Sacred, and So Are You. So,
Yes.
you definitely want to make sure you check out this sister, you purchase her book. I'm going to let her introduce herself even further so we can get started. So please tell the people about what you do and who you are and your purpose.
Ah, man, there's a lot to answer there. My name is Karima McKenzie. I am an educator for the past 18 years, currently serving in the role of vice principal. I am a speaker now. I speak on my book that I authored called Temples of Sacred and So Are You. It's a book that inspires young teens and young adults to honor their temples on a daily basis. So that's the gist of what if I do. Also, a woman's assistant women's basketball coach. I've been a college and high school athlete, and just finding opportunities to really pour into the young population, the younger generation, in any way possible. So,
That's beautiful. That and it's so much needed, especially, we all know as youth we've had our times where we felt a little misguided and different things like that. So it's beautiful that you are offering guidance to the youth. Um,
absolutely.
I have a question. When you speak of honoring your temple, what does that mean? Does that mean, with the food we eat, or is that with different things? Like, what does that mean to you?
Well, so um, when I had a divine intervention to write the book, it happened at a time where I myself wasn't honoring my temple. Um, I had to be hospitalized in a mental institution for, uh, I wouldn't call it a breakdown. I'd say more so now that it was a breakthrough, spiritual breakthrough. Um, and, it was the result of not prioritizing my self care. I wasn't eating enough, I wasn't sleeping properly. And that led me to a state of delirium, which caused me to become depressed, and anxious, and suicidal, and all these things that truly is not really in my makeup, but it happens to the best of us. So while in that hospital, I was there for exactly 7 days. I had nothing but time to really sit with my thoughts and sit with, you know, my inner self. And during that time, I reflected back to um, my inner child, my 12-year-old self, and I just was like, I got to do something, because I was thankful that I entered my right state of mind again. And immediately I went to wanting to create a better experience for the younger generation, that comes after me. It was like, okay, I need them to know how to not end up where I'm at, And so what did I do? I took the word temples and used it as an acronym and created 7 principles that I feel, would help them honor their temples on a daily basis. So in the book, you got 7 different ways to do that. And there's no one way, right, to do it every single day. It's just pick one each day and just focus on that. You know what I mean? That was my intention, was to give them a starting point or a blueprint, to take care of their temples. We all been taught that, about the analogy of our bodies are a temple, and I always ask kids when I'm speaking, what is a temple to you? And all the time the words are, a place of worship, a place that's sacred, a place that's, requires holiness, right? Requires you to be upright, good posture, all these things that happen when you walk into a temple. So I wanted, wanted them to start looking at themselves that way, right? You are the temple. You house a sacred space. And with that, I just my pen to the paper and just started saying, okay, what are some core things I wish I knew, when I was 12 years old.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. And that's a beautiful um, experience, even though it came through something hard. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Sometimes the hardest experiences kind of compel us and propel us into change, into
Yes,
becoming better and blossoming in other ways. I feel like these experiences help us to reach the higher self in other levels. And so
absolutely.
that's very beautiful. I didn't even know it was that heavy, and I love it. I love it. I haven't seen you
Yeah.
in years, so
I
but
know
it's
it's been a
beautiful. We
minute,
open on our
man.
journeys.
Yeah, it's crazy. You just starting at that time.
Yes. That's so beautiful, and it's so needed for the youth because I was literally talking to one of my colleagues yesterday, and they were telling me how they teach middle school. I got like a range of kids because I'm in Nevada now, and they just throw all the kids in one school apparently in one class, and
Oh
it'll be three
wow.
different grades. I don't know what they do out here, but I see why it's the lowest, well, one of the lowest performing places. I love Nevada, but the school system, I'm like, what are y'all doing? So, but anyway, my colleague was telling me with her middle school class how there was a child who was contemplating running away,
Hmm.
and all the kids knew, and they went and told one of the other kids, and they were planning a way to run away together.
Got
And
it.
I think that that's so important because I remember as a youth running away because of different things going on in my household and not having a place to go, not having that safe space.
Yep.
So I love that your book teaches children and youth how to find that safe space within.
Absolutely.
By any chance, could you share some of the principles and the acronym of temples?
Absolutely. So T, which is what you just touched on, right? The reason you left home was because you were experiencing the first T, which is trauma. And the T stands for truth, trauma, trust, and train. I used 4 words for that T because first thing that needs to be discussed is the truth. That's the first thing. And that's the truth in telling these young kids the truth and also being truthful people, right? So, truth is the core of honoring your temple. Trauma, right? We all go through it, we all experience it. I just think that this is the first time that people are honestly recognizing and honoring the fact that trauma is a very real thing and it needs to be discussed more than not, right? It needs to be discussed, the effects of trauma on our lives, and people really need to understand the impact of trauma and how it changes who they are as a person. So those are the two heavy hitters. I come from the gate like, let's get to the root of who you are, and what shapes you to be who you are. And I talk about trusting and training yourself, right? So that's the T. Then I go into E. I talk about the importance of exercise, right? And I talk about how you can elevate yourself in the game of life. I give them 10 ways to do that, just a couple quick hits. I talk about being coachable, you know, I talk about being a team player, I talk about accepting constructive criticism. Those are some of the things that make you elevate, you know. I just truly believe that there's no one person that can do this thing called life by themselves. We need each other. So I speak on the importance of um, allowing being a part of a team and allowing people to impart wisdom into your life. So, but exercise is just that, right? Got to move the lymphatic system, got to get the toxins out. So I speak on those things. The M is about meditation and manifestation. I talk about the importance of meditation and how that pretty much saved my life, at a time where I just, you have to sit with your thoughts, and if you don't know how to control them, it could lead you in a very dark place. So I talk about the control piece of our minds, and I talk about, once you get it under control, how you have the ability to really manifest anything that you desire, from your heart. The P stands for prayer and protection. I talk about, the different types of ways to pray, and I talk about the importance of protecting ourselves, and not just protecting ourselves, through prayer, but also physically, right? Learning, any types of protection methods, right? Sexually, as well as, self defense, right? So I talk a little bit about those things. The L, which is my favorite of all of the letters, stands for love and learn. I talk about love, and I talk about the importance of love for self, and how you are no good to anyone if you're no good to yourself. I speak from the one principle that I live by, and that is that self love is the only love that exists. And then I talk about the importance of being a learner for the duration of your life. You cannot be a person that thinks that you know everything, and that, even at my adult age, I want to learn from them. So I always give them opportunities to teach me something. And I just encourage them to always learn, and become, whatever it is that they're passionate about, study it, Um, the second E is for eating to live. That is also one of my favorites because, that's how you and I met, right? Like we went on a fly on a cruise with Bolingo, and it was like an alkaline cruise. I'll never forget that, man. It was the best time of my life, one of them anyway. And I speak on the importance of eating to feed our trillions of cells, and how they are, each cell is on an assignment, to keep us alive, and the importance of feeding the cells things that keep us healthy, keep the cells alive and give them nourishment. Um, and the last S stands for smile, speak, and surround. Speak on the importance of smiling every day, releases the positive hormones, the endorphins, and, I speak on the power in speaking up, right? The what's necessary in speaking your truth, how that is, something that we find a hard time doing because we're always afraid of other people's reactions, So I teach them that you're not responsible for anyone's response to your truth. You're responsible for your delivery. And I encourage them to always, speak with love. And then on the flip, how they respond, regardless of how they respond, you're not responsible for that. So I give them, I empower them to speak their truth. And I also speak on the importance of who they surround themselves with. I always, let them know that they are one decision away from a completely different life, so it's important to choose their home wisely, and, be mindful of who they surround themselves with. So those are the 7 principles that I have.
I'm sorry. The last part that you said just went in and out a little bit when you were getting to the bulk of it. Can you repeat that last portion of what you said? My apologies.
So no problem. So the last S stands for smile, speak, and surround. And I speak on the importance of smiling, every day, because the smiling really releases the positive hormones, and just gets you to, vibrate at a higher frequency, right? I also speak on the importance of speaking your truth, right? It's so necessary. I said we're often taught that, or afraid to speak our truth because of we fear the reaction from other people. So I really speak on why it's necessary to speak your truth. I talk about how, um, do so with love, and when you do so with love, you're not responsible for how the other person responds to you, you know. The last piece is surround. I speak on the importance of who they should surround themselves with, right? Not everybody is for them, so I want to make sure people are at a vibrational match and encourage them to surround themselves with the positive people that need to be positive.
That's excellent. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I thought that was my alarm because my alarm has the same sound. And I'm
Yeah,
looking around like, is that my
and it's
alarm?
it's, it's far away. I'm so upset.
No, it's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
Um, so you are a vice principal at a school.
Yes.
So, do you work with all the youth, all ages, or do you primarily work with like middle school kids?
I'm in high school, so I have ninth and 12th grade. Yeah,
Ah, that's such a pivotal time.
it
That's
is.
such a very pivotal time because you're about to get out in the world and be on your own soon. And it's like, okay, you want a sense of direction and guidance. So this is amazing. This book is
Yes.
amazing. I'm
Thank you
definitely
so
going to
much.
get my copy as well.
Please do.
And I
Please do.
encourage all of you to get your copy. The website where you can purchase her book is down below. Make sure you support the sister. Um, any way that you can because we need people like this in our community who are helping to give some level of guidance and help the youth, especially with the way things are now. To me, the
Yes.
way things are in music, society has always been kind of janky, but you
Yeah.
add that with the toxic music, you add that with so many other factors, you know that guidance is so necessary. I have a friend who me and him was talking about something one day, and he was saying to me, his family's from South Africa. He was saying to
Hmm.
me how a lot of times we go through trauma without rites of passage with the elders
Hmm. Yes.
to help us know how to get through the trauma. And
Correct.
so you are now have become an elder to the youth.
Ah, come on with it. Asheo.
Yes. So you are helping the
Wow.
elders through the transformation and through the rites of passage, which is a very beautiful thing. And I pray so much blessings and abundance for you for that because
Yes.
it's so needed. Man. And
Thank
I
you so
remember when we
much.
met on that herb cruise, girl. With Belingo, shout out to Belingo and
Bilingo,
Miranda.
Miranda. Shout out. Big shout out.
We went to that herb
We need another
cruise.
one.
Yes. Oh man, who else was there? Jamal Moncour was there.
Yeah.
DJ was there. All of us came there to learn about herbs because we were all trying to practice alkalinity, eat
Yep.
better, all
Yep.
kind of stuff. So we've been on this journey for a while, and it's beautiful to see the blossoming with you, with Belingo, with DJ, with everyone in their own
Yeah.
way for their own path. You know what I mean? Yes. I wanted to also touch base on you said the first T dealt with trauma.
Yes.
And one thing that I noticed, and I don't know if you've experienced or seen this as well, where a lot of times young people go through trauma and when they get the courage to speak about the different traumas they're going through, they often get blamed. It's
Mm.
often your fault. Oh, well, how come you didn't speak up sooner? Or you're trying to mess with the family or whatever. What is your take on that?
Okay, so speaking on trauma really ruffles feathers. You know, it really does. Um, it ruffles feathers because in the Black and Brown community, there's a spirit or culture of don't ask, don't tell. You know, so when you start asking and you start telling and you start being vocal about the things that you experienced, um, it's not easy. It's not easy for your parents. It's not easy for your family that's, in the trenches with you, brothers, sisters, whoever it is that you felt a way about or experienced traumatic experience with, it's not taken very lightly, you know. So again, this goes back to my last letter, the S, where I speak on speaking your truth, you know, regardless of how people are going to respond and receive it. Can you hold for a second? Okay.
No problem. We're taking a quick intermission. But you guys, feel free to check out her book. Get it for your children, for your teenagers specifically, and your preteens, the kids that are in middle school, high school, because this is something that can help them. Let them know through the sister's book. She's teaching how to treat your body as a temple, which is something we had to learn later on in life, but it's something that the younger you learn it, the more beneficial it will be throughout time. Over time, the more it will help you. And it's not just dealing with the food, it's dealing with so many aspects of the self, as the sister explained, with healing, self love. You
Yes.
know, sometimes people have a spiritual awakening. They say that they have they feel like they're losing their mind when they experience their first spiritual awakening, you know. And so you had your situation that you explained, which is very beautiful to come from that, because you know firsthand.
Yes. And I've had many spiritual awakenings, right? Leading up to that big one. But that one really shifted the trajectory of my life. Like, you know, like that one was the one that spirit was like, all right, you want to keep playing? You know, I got you, you know, sat down. Okay. Sat down spiritually. Okay. I'm sitting down. That's all I can do. All right. So what we going to do now? And yeah, I had to sit with my thoughts, like I said, and really just write, really write. Just all I could do was write. And now that's my divine mission now. Like how that instance becomes my divine mission is really bizarre. It's not even bizarre. It's just surreal. That's the word. It's a surreal experience, you know, because I'm like, you know, who would ever thought, you know, at this point now, in the past couple months, I've been in touch and impacted the lives of at least 100 young adults or teens, you know, and it's like, and I'm speaking all of it, everything that I just shared with you is what I've been speaking to them, you know. So here I am planting seeds that I know is going to cause a ripple effect for generations to come. Like, man, is divine mission. And like I I noticed that how big of a shift it is, because if I could eat, sleep, and drink this work right now, that's what I would be doing, you know. And I notice a shift daily in how I show up when I'm working on temple's work, you know. It's truly a passion right now. You know, I feel like I've been called to help a generation. Seriously, like, you know, it's like, oh man, y'all need help. Okay, I'm here. You know, and then the word that you said, I'm kind of taken aback. You called me an elder. That's crazy. That's so crazy to be thought as an elder right now. You know, I
It's an
received that.
honorable thing.
Yeah, like I'm just like, wow.
Do you plan on traveling and speaking, or
I
even
would
getting
love
into
to.
something like TED Talk and stuff like that, where
I
you
would
can
love to.
speak on
Yeah.
your experience? Because I just saw a vision of you doing that, and
Ashe.
I was just like, oh, that'll be great. Or maybe even Belingo maybe we can negotiate with Belingo, will link you with some of the schools
Yes.
to talk about your experience in Louisiana and different
Yes.
places.
I'll be
You
honored,
know.
man. I will go wherever this leads me. I will go. Hop a plane in a second. I really will.
Yes. And I
So
wanted to
hopefully
say,
whoever's
oh,
watching, you know, um,
say that again. I'm sorry.
I said, so hopefully whoever sees this, you know, and watches this can sense, you know, my heart, you know, and want to get me somewhere in these schools, you know, in front of these young adults or teens, whoever they are.
Yes. It's funny what you mentioned with your experience, because when you mentioned it, it made me think of Left Eye when she explained what made her write Waterfalls.
Mm.
And she was, and you know, and if you listen to the lyrics, I seen a rainbow yesterday, but too many storms. And she starts going into her own spiritual experience in that song, but that was when she was actually, it was a different experience, but it was similar where she was in a rehab and she had nowhere to go. And so she had to sit there with her thoughts. And sometimes you come up with, I mean, to me, even songwriters, you come up with some of the best stuff
Yep.
from the depths of those experiences. It's all in how you channel that energy. And the
Absolutely.
fact that you poured that energy like an alchemist, like a magician into your book, into your work is a very, very beautiful thing. And you are definitely here for a purpose
Gotcha.
because that was meant for it to happen that way. Your guides guided you and they were like, this is what she needed this moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That's a very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And it just made me think of Left Eye with waterfalls.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask, what ways can we support you as the community? What can we do to help further your message?
So just how you mentioned, getting making that connection with Bilingo and trying to get me in other schools, like, if you have any connections, right? Like, plug me, sis. Like, plug me, plug my story, plug my message. I have I have a short bio that I can send you, media kit. I'm ready to go. At this point. So you can support me in that way. Of course, you could purchase the book, which is a nominal fee. The price you pay for a meal is not even, is less than that. So it's on Amazon, the digital copy, and then the hard copy you can order directly through my website, which is up there already. But yeah, I just need, the only way this message will reach the masses is if people buy into what's really needed for our youth at this time, and it's gotta not be about what it costs. It's really gotta be about what these kids really need. And I know for sure that I am one of the people that these kids need. Why? Because I come with an authenticity and a realness that I have not seen. I'm just being completely honest. I am so transparent. I'm so raw. I'm so real. And I show up as my authentic self, and they feel it. They feel it and they know it. They know when they're in front of somebody that's going to really talk that talk. That somebody that's going to keep it 100 with them. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm showing up. I try to bring myself to their level, and speak from a place of truth with love, you know, and it's been received really, really well, really, really well, and um, in an overwhelming kind of way. I truly just, I'm thankful. Each time I'm just like, I can't believe they chose me for this assignment. You know what I mean? Like it kind of, I have to pinch myself sometimes. But let me tell you, when a lights, camera, action goes on and I'm in front of them, it's just like I feel divine intervention each time, because I can't even remember sometimes the words that I speak to them, you know. But I just know when it's done and I have another interaction with them, or I see them in the hallways, you know, they they repeat things back to me, or they're asking me when I'm coming, when's the next time I'm coming, or you know the buzz is getting through the school, things like that. It's just nothing short of amazing. So I'm thankful. It's just nothing but gratitude.
Sis, you ever thought of doing a podcast?
Ah.
I'm just thinking about it because I'm like, it could be, because the thing about it is because this is what you've experienced and this is a journey that you're walking in, you can like even work, like do something where you talk about one or spend 1 week on one of the principles
Yeah.
and the ways that it works for you. You know, like what ways are you honoring yourself as a temple now? What,
Yep.
you know, what are some things that you changed? Like, you know, maybe you used to smoke some cigarettes and you're like, oh, I ain't doing that no more. You
Uh-huh.
know?
I have thought of a podcast. It's been brought to my attention a couple times already. Um, so here's my biggest challenge is, being a, full-time vice principal and, being an assistant women's basketball coach. My time is limited at this juncture, so I'm not trying to scale in so many different areas right now, but I have certainly thought of podcasting for sure. Um, I have a potential title and everything, but I just I don't want to just branch out too wide yet. You know what I mean? I really want to start to get first my name out there and let people know exactly what it is that I'm doing, and the more and more I get in front of, people and administrators or principals that buy in, then I have a following and an audience. And then when I have an audience, that's when I'll do the podcast. You know what I'm
Understandable.
saying?
Understandable. Well, is there anything, any questions anyone has in the comment section, by the way? Please let us know. I know Ozzy said, hey, someone sent hearts, Altus, uh, different people. Please don't forget to like the video and share the video with people whom this can help.
Yes.
Um, Please definitely be of support. Purchase the sister's book. If you have any connects to a school, definitely let them know. I know that I work at a school. My school's an elementary school, but I could talk to my principal about bringing you. We'll see. I'll see what I could do of my end. But I'm new. I'm the new kid on the block there because I'm in
Yeah.
Nevada. So, but I'll see what I can do there. And we probably can. I probably can have someone or myself. Probably not myself though. Translate at the same time. I don't always like to translate, but maybe someone can translate so that the message is conveyed in English and Spanish for the
Yeah.
community and things like that. But this is amazing. I wanted to ask you two quick things.
Oh, of course.
What state are you in helping the
I'm in New
community?
Jersey.
In New Jersey, all right now.
Hmm.
And I wanted to ask, if you don't mind me asking, what's your birthday?
12/7/82.
Girl, you a number seven?
Yes, I am.
This is a number 7 year. This is that year where you may be pulled out of your shell
Mm.
to get out of your comfort zone a little bit more. It's not about making it perfect. It's about just doing it.
Mm.
Just being in that present and being pushed forward.
Hmm.
But always go as you are guided intuitively. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I definitely understand not want to do it because I split myself 1,000 ways.
Hmm.
And I had the same kind of mindset, but over time it was just like, no, you need to do this. You're a 3 life path too. You're supposed to get into public speaking.
I'm in it. I'm
You know
here.
why? Because 3's a number. When you're a 3 life path, you have an eccentric way about you. You have a very I'm a 3 life path too, by the way, just so you know. You have an eccentric way about you. You communicate well. You are a person who people will gravitate to, who's a lot more popular. And 3 life paths are supposed to be about expansion. A lot of 3 life paths end up doing motivational speaking,
Hmm.
writing books, which you are on and you are doing on your path, which is beautiful. You know what I mean? So if at any point something says, you know what, just do it. Just put it out there. Just do it. I will support you all the way. Let me know so I can share it
I
and
share.
everything like that. And we can keep it going and really, really support you because I really love what you're doing for the youth. And when I tell you I love being an adult way more than I loved being a child. I hated my childhood. A lot of people don't know that about me. I hated it. I couldn't wait to grow up. Because you're not in control of circumstances and different things. And you
Yeah.
don't know how to process a lot of stuff. So this is beautiful because this is helping the youth process. This is helping them start with the self-preservation. I
Correct.
did a show yesterday, and the sister was talking about how the first law of nature is self-preservation. You
Mm-hmm.
always start with the self. And so it's beautiful how this connects. It can start with the self. How do you treat yourself as a temple?
Correct.
How do you honor yourself? Because once you do that, then you'll attract the person that you may want to be with that'll honor you. You'll attract the jobs you want. Like you said, it'll help with manifestation.
Correct. It's all
You
related.
know? Yes, it is all related. Is there anything, any final messages or anything that you would like to share with the audience at this time?
Let's see. I think one final thought would be that honoring our temples and the work of self-love is a daily experience. I think people often, one, first, they don't love themselves, right? And then two, when they think they do love themselves, they just think it's a one and done. Like, I love myself and that's it. you know? But I need people, and this is what I tell them, the kids all the time, like, self-love is work. I don't know who made this idea that self-love is like this, walk in the park. No, it's a daily commitment. It's a daily relationship with yourself where you are prioritizing you. And it's extremely hard to do with this human experience because we are bogged down with so much, our partnerships, our relationships, our jobs, right? Just life as a whole, and we forget ourselves. So if there's any one thing I want to leave with people, it's just like self-love is a daily sacrifice for your own self, for your own temple. I just want people to know that and be okay with that part of life. Like, be okay with the work that's required to pour into yourself. Like, it's work. And it's work that, like, when it's all said and done, you are so much better off than when you don't do the work. You know what I mean? Because if you don't do the work, you're going to keep experiencing the same things. You're going to keep having the same lessons in life until you overcome. You do that shadow work. You find the deep parts of yourself that need to be seen. And then that's when, you know, those manifestations become realized because you've done the work. So that's my 3 words. Do the work. That's it. Do the work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It made me think of when I come across people and they ask me about love and they
Mm.
want a reading about love, and I'm getting the message to tell them you got to turn inward. The love you want is the love that you need in yourself, you
Yes.
know? And then, now it's the wave of like the terms that everyone uses. Oh, the person's a narcissist, every person's toxic. But you keep attracting toxicity.
Hmm.
You keep attracting narcissists. And so you're the common denominator of it all.
Yep.
There's something that you're not learning from the experience. And like you said, that's why you keep repeating it.
Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing that. Yes, it is a constant process. I'm constantly working on me all the time,
All the time.
nonstop.
Non-stop. Yeah.
But it's beautiful because it unfolds and it gets easier once you get past certain things. And like you said, being truthful with yourself, being honest with yourself helps a lot. It helps free you in certain ways. So we thank you for sharing this. We thank you for your time, sister. We thank you for all the work that you do, being
Thank you, sis.
graduated and spiritually initiated to be an elder to these children.
Oh man, that's so
Yes.
crazy. Thank you for
That's
that
spiritual
word, man.
initiation.
Like, that's crazy. I'm gonna be like, I'm an elder. I'm gonna just be sitting around like, I'm an elder. Thank you so much for having me on your platform. I really appreciate this. And again, keep me in mind, for any opportunities, to pour this message into the younger generation. So I appreciate you. And I look forward to our connection, staying connected and, you know, whatever can come from this, I'm just thankful. So gratitude.
Yes, thank you, sis. We thank you as well. You guys make sure you support her, sis. You get that book. You follow her. Okay. I don't know if she's on TikTok. Are you on any social media plugs you want me to throw in there? Any shameless
Just
plugs?
Instagram, and can I type it in the chat?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Instagram and Facebook right now. I have all these other platforms, but I'm not gonna even lie. Like I don't use them like that. So that's another thing that I'm gonna get better at and improve on. But hire a team of people to help me with things like that. But right now, I just see the messages to get, like you said, just get out there and get in front of them. You know, the rest going you build it, they're gonna come. That's how I feel. So yeah.
One second, y'all. I'm just trying to put a banner up so you guys can, with her Instagram, so you guys can
Okay.
follow her. Let's see. I had too many banners up, so it was like,
It's
no.
okay.
Definitely follow the sis on Instagram.
Mhm.
Okay, now it'll let me do it. And then let me see. Yes. And that Tat Solutions.
Yep.
Is that an acronym for something?
T and A T. That stands for Touch and Agree Tendaji. Tendaji is a word in Swahili which means make things happen. So when we touch and agree, we make things happen. You get it?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I got you. That's all right. No, but that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Because, seven is a number that deals with manifestation too. So that's who you are.
Yeah. Part of it.
That's who you are. Go ahead, sis. You go and do your thing and manifest this. I wish you so much abundance, blessings. I wish you prosperity, and I wish you so much success and just everything good to you for what you are doing for the youth. Because the youth, they need the attention, they need the help, they need the guidance, and they need the elders, whether they realize it or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a generation they don't. The village don't raise the child no more.
Hmm.
But we need to kind of come a little bit back to that because that's what the elders were for. And in the '80s generation, a lot of things got kind of broken down in the '90s,
Yep.
but now it's coming back full circle, and we're coming back to what once worked, what we once needed. So yes, thank you. I just heard your spirit guides are smiling on you. So
Mm, that's right.
yes. So you guys take care. Thank you so much again. And stay tuned for another episode with Ozma the Alchemist. We'll see who's coming next, or maybe I might do some readings. Ooh. We'll see. But have a wonderful, wonderful day, you guys.
Peace and love.
Peace.